Hello, welcome. This video I will be showing you my progress with my rolling project pan. As I go through the products, I will let you know what the initial goal for the products were, and we'll let you know if there are changes to that goal. A product that I will be rolling out, I will be tossing it. It's been in my beauty capsule for a very long time. It's the Master Eye Prep and Set in Deep by Makeup by Mario. I wanted to declutter this a while ago. Then when I started this project, I thought, let me give it a try. Let me try it again, revisit it, see how I'm feeling about it. My initial goal was to use up these two cream. The powder has hard pan. I can't really get any products from it. And when I did use it in the past, I always scraped off the top layer, then used my brush, dig in there real roughly to set my lid whenever I use the cream with it. And there are times when I didn't set my lid, just depends on which shadow I'm using. But I used this once and it was too late to change my eye look because I was rushing time-wise. And within 5 minutes of applying my makeup, getting ready, everything, last look in the mirror before I go out the door, and my eye look was creased. It was badly creased. I was not happy with my eye look. Anything pertaining to makeup that doesn't bring me joy, I am blessed to have that luxury of, nope, we're gonna declutter you and get something else. I don't want to work at trying to make something work for me with beauty related products. So I remember probably the last 2 months, it was probably my top unsatisfied eye makeup look, and it was solely because of this product. The eyeshadow I used, I've worn before, applies beautifully, have worn beautifully in the past. I made a mental note. I said, no, I'm good. I am decluttering you, calling it quits. So this is being kicked out. I am happy to report that I used up 2 products. The first one is the e.l.f. Glow Reviver Lip Oil, and this is what it looks like. This one is in Rose Envy. Yes, Rose Envy. I took out the stopper, and note to self, next time I'll do my best to use up what I can without taking out the stopper, because once I took out the stopper, it leaked everywhere. Even though I cleaned it and started storing it upright, for some reason, I think whatever was left in here, it always leaked out. I found myself cleaning off the tube whenever I use it. So I think in the future, which I plan to repurchase this in the future when I get my beauty capsule lip product wise, the category where I want it, I will repurchase this. But when I do in the future have this again, I will do my best to just use what I can without removing the stopper, and when I no longer can get products out of it, I will call it quits. Other product that I used up is from Auric, Plush Ritual Tint. It's a ceramide lip treatment in Haze. Really enjoyed this product. I will consider repurchasing it in the future. I'm not in a hurry to purchase it only because I prefer a different shade that I have over the shade Haze. I think I have the shade Ripe. I prefer it over the shade Haze. I actually have Ripe on with a lip liner. I had 3 eyeshadow palettes in this project. This is the Danessa Myricks Beauty Lightwork Volume 3, the Experience palette. My goal for this palette is to hit pan in all the shades. I have hit pan in this shade, but I had pan in it during my intro video. So that goal was met before I even started this project. The more I use this palette, the more I enjoy it. I've used this shade at least twice. I've used this shade 2 to 3 times. These I've used at least once, and when I did use them, I always paired another shade with it as a little, like a topper, and to bring some light to the look, like a faux halo eyes. It's a technique, eyeshadow application technique that I have found myself doing more of in the past few months. Apply a shade that I want, then on top in the center of my lid apply a different shade, usually a shade that's brighter, catches the light, and I love how that looks. Example, this eye look that I have is just one shade from the Pat McGrath Midnight Sun. Let me see, I just recorded this video. So the shade Jubilee from Pat McGrath Midnight Sun all over my lid, just for a shimmery lid color. So let's say I have this shade, I will use Solar Rain, which is the shade I used a lot to do that kind of look. This shade, it seems muted, but it has a fiery shift to it. It has a fiery shift to it. So this is what it looks like, but if you shift it, move it around, see how there's a vibrancy to it, and I love that. So let's say with this look, I just apply it to the center like that, and that's what I've been doing most of my looks. I don't know if you can see the difference, but perhaps since Solar Rain and Jubilee, the 2 shades are pretty close in color family, you don't see the difference, a significant difference between the 2 shadows, but I can see it in person, a slight difference, and that fiery shift to this shade. I used the shade Martian once. I did not use Galaxy at all, or at least I don't remember using it. I don't think I did. If I did, it would have been as a liner really close to my lash line, but I don't recall using it. I used Soul and Solar Rain the most from this palette. Beautiful, beautiful. There was a time I used it in combination with the Swathi palette. Speaking of the Mez Beauty Swathi palette, my goal for this palette was to use this or hit pan in these 3 shades. Whenever I reached, I thought I had pan in it, but it's just a different one of these, a speck of it in it. But this one has a dip in it, Cocoa, because I also use it as a brow powder. I have a dip in Mocha, but not as significant as Cocoa, only because with Cocoa, for my brow brush, I am more focused at a particular place in the pan, but I can see a slight dip in Mocha because I used it a lot to set my lid primer before going in with my actual eye look. There was a time, so this was the 3 that I was focused on in this palette, and then as I used this, I realized I was also reaching for these. So there's been time when this shade was just too warm for what I'm going for, so I always paired it with sand, and sand also has a slight dip in it, so I've been using these 2 together to custom create a certain shadow look that I want. So not wanting the too warm of a shade on my lids, I just mix in sand. These 2, maybe I'll do a video eventually. I've been using it as a blush, these 2. There's a blush that I do not have that was released in the last few months that is on my wish list, and one day, I'm going off on a tangent. One day I just thought, let me see if I can use these shadows to emulate and kind of sort of get the vibe that I think I may get from buying that blush. And I wore it maybe twice, and I liked it. I will insert a picture, it's random, I'll insert a picture of the look that I wore and had this as a blush. Although with this palette, I started off focusing on these 3 mattes. As I used it, I slowly went into other shades to use for my looks. I didn't reach much for these 4 here. I reached more for all the shades, the matte shades on top, and then these 2 shimmery shade on the bottom. Iced and Sunshine. Really enjoyed those. So yeah, I'm still enjoying this palette. I have a feeling the shadows in here are less than the shadows in here. I think I will hit pan in these, the 3 shades that are in this project, before I hit pan in these ones. The next palette, the 3rd palette, is the Chantecaille Hummingbird palette, Quartet in Cool. I really am not interested in this shade. I actually haven't used it, but before I reach my goal of using these up, if I feel inspired to use this, I will. But for this project, my goal is to use these 2 shadows up. I have used this palette 2 to 3 times. There was a time I used this shade in combination with this palette. If I remember, if I'm able to figure out which pictures I took for these palettes, I will put it up as I go. One of the looks, I used these 2 shades. I'm going to swatch it. I used these 2 shades, and then I went in and used Strawberry Moon and topped it a little bit. Applied it on top. I didn't really get very much of each shade, but applied this. These are from the Chantecaille, and then I used Strawberry Moon lightly on top for the whole look. Now that I'm looking at this, I could just wear this shade and apply Strawberry Moon on top of it as well. But these are just, I'm sighing because I am so happy that I'm rediscovering not just the products I currently own and enjoying them, but also allowing myself, being fluid with, instead of restricting myself to just using one palette, I may open up, example, all 3 palettes and just hop between all 3 to create a look. And being satisfied with the look that I created. And it's just an extra look that I could achieve using much more than just one palette. Next product I have is the Fenty Beauty Powder Foundation. I used this twice or 3 times. I just haven't been interested in adding extra coverage to my base. I prefer, there was a time that I used this a lot. This is probably my 2nd or 3rd compact. And in the current phase of my makeup application, my preference, I have just been preferring translucent powder. With that said, I don't know how long this will take me, but it will take me a while. Again, I'm not forcing myself to use certain products. I would like to use up some of these products or reach my goals on these, and that is why they are in my current daily beauty basket. So I have a visual reminder of what my goals are. I'm hoping that eventually I may get to a stage or a phase where I'm okay wearing this, so I can use it up sooner than later. And whenever I've used it, it was just so I can use it. I just applied it lightly, and I wasn't applying it to build coverage for my base. The next product I have is the Clé de Peau Radiant Corrector for Eyes. This one is in Cocoa. In the beginning, I did use this a lot, and then maybe the last two weeks I haven't reached for it. I don't dislike this product. I just don't think for me it's worth how much I paid for it. As I use it, I realize I don't like the tone. Last 2 products, I'm making progress, but I haven't reached my goal of using them up. These 2 from Lisa Eldridge. This is the Enhance and Define Lip Pencil in Decade. This is how much I have left. It's so cute and tiny. It's the same height as the Lip Embrace, Balm Embrace. But I used this as my lip liner and a little bit filled in as part of this lip. But I think by the next update I would have used this up, or at least used it to the point where I'm okay getting rid of it, calling it done. But that's how much I have left of it. Still enjoying it. I do have a backup, and that's one of the reasons I decided to put it in this project. Balm Embrace in Epanui, and this is how much I've used. I don't recall how much was in it when I started, but it was more than this. I've been using it. The more I use it, the more I realize that this is not for me. I enjoy that it's moisturizing, but I have other solid tinted lip balmish product that I prefer over this. I am glad that when this product was released, I did not get too excited and purchase more than one. because the more I use this, the more at least this shade, the more I realize that I can do without it. But I'm glad that I experienced it, because if I didn't, I may always have that FOMO. That's where I am with this. Since I'm rolling out 3 products, I decided I want to add 3 more. The first one is the Auric Plush Retro Tint in Ripe. This is what Ripe looks like and how much I've used of it. Really enjoy this. I prefer this shade over the shade Haze. I'm going to be rolling this in just to use it up. But in general, I do like this formula. The next product I have is from House Labs. It's the Le Monster Lip Crayon 2.0. This one is in Mocha Matte. And this is how much I have left. And earlier today, I actually used it as well, all over, then applied Ripe on top. And then later today, I used the lip liner from Lisa Eldridge on top of it. But this is what it looks like on top. I keep neglecting this, not forgetting that I have it, but other products I seem to reach for more than this. There was a time I reached for this a lot, but not lately, and I want to have a visual, put it in my basket and have that visual reminder, hey, use what you have. We're trying to use stuff up. The last product that I'm going to roll in is the Chantecaille Le Matte Stylo. I thought I had this in my initial, I thought I had it in my initial intro video, but where I wrote down the products I have in this project, it's not there. So if it is in my initial intro video and I just forgot to write it down, then this will be an update of what it looks like. But if it's not, then you'll see what it looks like now. But this is how much I have left in it, and my goal for this is to use it up the same as the other lip products that I just rolled in. So I looked back at my intro video and saw that the Chantecaille Le Matte Stylo in Meadow Sweet was actually in my intro video. So I had 11 products to begin with. So because of that, you already saw how much I have in this left. I will roll in this Viseart Moisture Boost Lip Shine in Cerise. Purchased this sometime this year and haven't used it in a while, in a long time, months, 2 months perhaps. So I will roll this in and the goal will be to use it up. Yeah. Thank you all for watching. If you did enjoy this video, please give it a thumbs up. And while you're here, if you have not subscribed, I would love for you to consider subscribing. Thank you for being here, and I'll see you in my next video.